Take a couple of deep breaths as we allow ourselves to inhale and breathe deeply, and with each exhalation, let go. Allow your body to relax. Allow your mind to be still. And with each breath, breathe into any part of your body or mind where there may be pain or tension or stress, and just breathe it out. Each breath you become more relaxed, more peaceful. And your heart is open wide. Connecting with each and every person here today as we create a vortex of God's perfect love. Be still and know that you are divine, you are holy, and you are loved completely and totally beyond measure. Allow that to permeate your entire being, for that is the truth of who you are and who every being on this planet is. The totality of total and complete love. Love is. Love heals. And love transforms. Take a moment and together we send our compassion, our love, our peace to those who feel there's no way out. We surround their friends and family with our peace and compassion. We know that Spirit's will is to transcend, to overcome this world, to be in but not of the world. Every time each and every one of us chooses this love over fear, everyone is healed by our benevolence. Holy Spirit, Mother, Father, God, may we be a beacon of your love and light into a darkened world. We ask for your guidance so that you may lead us to where we may be of the greatest service. May we know that every moment, every encounter we have with another is a holy encounter. And may we act from that place of knowing. So it is. It's not dark anymore. Welcome to the Namaste Center, and great to see everybody out here in the flesh and on the TV screen. So today I am actually choosing to do a little something different for the group. And the reason is because I think most of you that know me know that my life prior to being a minister, ordained minister I should say, was actually that is golfer, professional golfer and teacher. And I was into golf for 40 years of my life, full throttle, and really loved it. It was a great blessing in my life in so many ways. But back in 1995, I had the inspiration to start the Zen Golf Center, and I started it in Florida. And what I intended to do was to integrate all my golf knowledge and with my spiritual knowledge and what I'd learned at that point. And so I had this woman, I love this little logo, you know, the little Zen logo with the golf green. I thought she did a cute job with that. And life and golf in balance. And my intention was to be able to reach out beyond the golf community, because these are really life skills. You know, you can plug these skills into any and every part of your life. Just so happened I was in the golf industry at that time, and that's what I geared it towards. But other than that, you know, it is so important to live life in balance. So you can, life and healing in balance, or life and ministry in balance, whatever it is, it's all really the same. So I'm asking you to maybe to get past some of the golfy stuff in this and know that there is a message that lies beneath. And the really amazing thing is I was asked a few months back to do this presentation at Kenmure, where we live. Now, I'll just leave it very short. That is a miracle. So, so we'll just leave it at that, but I am excited to do this, and so there you have it. So I'm gonna be showing up there Wednesday afternoon and speak to the membership about Zen Golf. Who'd have thunk? And some of you know what I'm speaking of. So this is gonna be a 2-hour presentation, so I'm not gonna obviously draw it out like, I won't go as deeply as I will, and I'm sure there'll be Q&A there too, but anyway, you don't need to know about me. But I'm gonna start with one of my favorite golf jokes. And so we got Moses and we've got Yeshua, Jesus. And anyway, I know I've shared this before, but it's one of my favorites. And it's Moses and Jesus were playing golf, and they got to a short par 3 hole over the water. Par 3 hole usually means it's a short hole. You can reach the green in one shot. So they get to the tee, Moses hits, lands on the green, and Jesus hits, and Moses is like, whoa, what are you hitting that 8-iron for? You're never gonna reach the green with that. He goes, well, Tiger can get there with an 8-iron, so can I. And so he hits, swings, and Jesus, sure enough, Moses was right, plop in the water. Well, Jesus didn't give up, water shot, to the point where I think he ran out of golf balls. Meanwhile, he kept trying and to no avail, reaching the green. And so by then, the next group had come up to the tee, and they said, by then Jesus was out there looking for his ball, and he was walking on water. And the foursome looked at Moses and says, who the heck's that guy think he is, Jesus Christ? And they said, no, Tiger Woods. So there you have it. And I'm going to kick it off with that. But good golf is in the mind. This is a quote by a fellow named Richard Barons, a Grand Master in martial arts. Good life is in the mind. Really, we have to, I love what A Course in Miracles says. What's it described as being? A course in mind training, period. So we train our mind how to think aligned with spirit, aligned with love, peace, compassion. The more we can train ourselves to think and align with those attributes, the more peaceful and happy we'll be. But the real icing on the cake is that every time I choose love over fear or train my mind, everyone is lifted by that, because there is no separation. But back to golf, back to life in general, we really have to watch what thoughts that we're thinking. What am I flooding my consciousness with? Now, Zen Golf is 21st century golf, and by that, you know, the old paradigm of golf, and I don't know how many of you guys are interested in golf or not, but back when I was growing up, you know, I was watching, mostly the tour players, and most of them would be, chain smoking, Arnold Palmer, they'd be walking down the fairway. Most of them drank excessively. Fitness was not a part of the game. The mental aspect of it, yes, they had this mental capacity, but they didn't know what to call it or do with it. So So but it's shifted greatly. Golf has turned into a game where I can guarantee you anyone who has reached a certain level has plugged in to fitness, to mind training, to relinquishing unhealthy habits, because you need that energy, that stamina, that focus to compete these days, you know? So what is Zen Golf, or what is Zen living? It's a mental game. Life is a mental game. You know, the game of life and how to play it, we need to really, again, feed ourselves with positive thoughts that heal, thoughts that lift, rather than thoughts that keep us in despair and hopelessness. Also, emotional intelligence. We talk about that. I've shared that many times, and there was a book written probably 15 at least years ago called Emotional Intelligence, and it said that people in the past, you know, IQ was like a big thing. Oh, they have such a high IQ, and like that was a badge of honor. Well, a lot of people, if you don't notice, people that have that intelligence quotient, that high IQ, many times are not successful. And by successful, I mean integrative beings, able to put their gifts out into the world, because they are so much in the head, and their intelligence, although it's a great gift, they don't have the emotional intelligence to really connect and to present their gifts in that way. So really, emotional intelligence is being able to manage emotions, to be more even keel, not this, okay? Just to be able to be steady through the game of life. And so emotional intelligence, if you look at people who are successful, they're the ones who are able to be calm in the midst of the storm. Also, peak physical condition, that goes without saying. I think any of us, the more we focus on nothing radical, because we're not here to compete at a professional level in any athletics, but physical condition meaning that I'm choosing to make healthy choices, exercise, move. Moving is key. You know, we gotta keep moving. I attribute my dad greatly. God bless that man, until the last week of his life, he was not gonna stop moving. And it wasn't easy for him, but he didn't want to give that up. So we gotta keep moving. Balance, and balance is, again, that steadiness. It's not this, it's being able to be balanced. That's this whole Zen symbol, is the balance of the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine energies. When we can integrate that and be in balance, then it's much easier to navigate through life situations. Also, being present. I think that's so key, especially now. Gee whiz, we're being bombarded with so much. And if we can allow ourselves to be present and to be fully focused on what is here now, we have such an advantage on the game. Because if I keep delving into the past or projecting into the future, oh, this is horrible, this happened last year, this happened yesterday, 5 minutes ago, or oh, I'm so worried about the future, we've lost the game there, the game of life. And also consciously creating our golf game or our life. You know, really taking, holding the hand of spirit and making a conscious choice to create that which we truly desire and what makes our heart sing. And so we do have that power to do so. I think we're all creating, but it's like, okay, what are we creating? Are we doing it consciously or unconsciously? I personally am at the point where I want to consciously create a life where spirit leads. And that's the unknown, really. I don't have a clue what that is, but I'm consciously choosing that. And just turning everything over and being led and be guided by that guidance of spirit and love. Of course, visualization. What are we focusing on? What are we putting out there? You know, I give you an example, and I think that I will use a golf example. There's hazards on the golf course, there's hazards in life, okay? So an example would be a hole where you're standing on the tee and down the left side, there's a big creek and it's wide. And over here, there's a lot of sand traps. And the sand traps basically, here's how wide the fairway is, and the creek's about this wide, and the sand traps are about this big. And where does my focus and my visualization go? Rather than what's right down the middle in front of us. We got all this good, but somehow we get snagged into focusing on that which we don't want. How much energy do we really focus on that which we don't want? And in turn, in golf, I can tell you, if I don't consciously create my shot, then I'll be darned, I'm gonna land where I don't wanna land, because that's where my attention and focus lies. So certainly a lot to think about on that one. And confidence, I think that confidence is huge, because when we walk in a winner's mind per se, I would call that a God mind. I have to change the language a little bit from here to Wednesday, but confidence is really knowing that no matter what, we're okay, and that I'm okay even if I have a great day by judgment or not. It's all good, and we can be confident in that because we're able to pick ourselves up much more quickly. And of course, enjoying life. That's a biggie for me. We're here to live in joy. And yes, sometimes it's not so fun and joyful. I admit that. Believe me, I know that one well. But I do know that life is meant to be enjoyed, and that I always have a decision in front of me, a choice in front of me. What am I choosing? I can always choose again. I don't have to stay there. So, Einstein, little quote there, I'll never worry about the future because it'll come soon enough. So another affirmation of presence. We've got Tiger Woods. He believes his creative mind is his greatest weapon. And he is so creative on the golf course. We need to be creative in life. And I think many people don't know this, but Tiger's mother is a Buddhist. She's, I believe that people attribute his dad's military background to being where he got his steel trap mind, and I'm sure there was a big part of that. But I'd say that his creative mind and his focus and his centeredness came much more from his mother's influence than his father's. Just my perception, but I think I'm right there. So there's, I am going to jump ahead a little bit because this is not really anything that's going to serve us today. So these Zen ideas, okay, are not limited to golf alone, okay? Olympic athletes, business professionals, but I would say just anyone who wants to go beyond our current status. So if you want to just be a happier, healthier, productive in the sense that I'm bringing my gifts into my life and making them real, then these tools are universal. So I am going to just mention this, but I'm not going to go in because this is where it could get lengthy. But two things you have to know to succeed is where you're starting and where you're going. And that is where we are here now. With the Namaste Center, this is so exciting, okay? Nothing bad's on here, folks. It's a good thing. It took that little whatever to kick us into gear, but it's all good. And so now, here's where we are. We got a blank slate ahead, and we're co-creating, consciously creating a future that is one where it's never been made before, it's never been created before. It's ours to develop and create. It's very exciting stuff. One day I might go into all of this, but not today, because that deserves more of a discussion than I have time to do today to make it right. So emotional intelligence, this is a quote by Byron Nelson, who was a golfer many, many years ago. And he says, out of control emotions make smart people stupid. Okay, so it's reacting, it's really using a golf analogy, you hit a bad shot. Or using a life analogy, something stupid happened. Okay, something you didn't like, it made you angry. Out of control, if I allow those emotions, they come up, that's natural, but we don't have to engage with those. So an emotionally intelligent individual would be able to breathe and move on. Because in golf, if I miss a shot and I get angry and my blood pressure goes up and I'm huffing and puffing, I'm going to carry that into my next shot. Well, in life, the same thing. We'll just carry it forward as long as we do. So we have to be able to take that pause that we've spoken of in here many times. Take that pause, breathe, and choose again. Arnold Palmer, what separates great players from good ones is not ability as much as brain power and emotional equilibrium. Again, Arnold Palmer is a golfer, yes, but this is not limited to golf alone. So, before Zen golf, before Zen living, okay, let's look at it this way. If you can see in the distance a little green, that little green, and then all the hazards. So we've got the desert, we made this little sand trap into a desert, and Niagara Falls out of a little pond, and then the trees where you can see. So before Zen golf, you can see how little the focus is on that which we desire and how much the focus is on the hazards, what can go wrong, okay? But after implementing these practices, after Zen golf, just so, beautiful. I've got a crowd and everything's just awesome and total confidence, and there you go. So it's just all the focus is on the target. So again, all of these are helpful tools. Peace is in the eye of the storm. I think that we're getting thrown a lot of storms, metaphorically and truly. Mother Earth is shaking, rocking, and rolling right now. And there ain't nothing we can do about a lot of it. We can't blow it away, even though a friend of ours thought you could. She tried to blow away one of those hurricanes once. We're like, good luck. Anyway, but we do always have the opportunity to stay peaceful. And I think that spiritual mastery is being able to be in the world, not of it, maintaining that sense of peace while the world around us is doing what it's got to do. And it is possible. And it's just a process. It's a decision that we make to move in that direction. So, sophrosyne is a quote by Plato. This is a word that he says, it's the ability to value fortune and disaster in the same light. And I think that that's such a powerful quote because, it's, what if we could just go through and regardless of what was happening, just being able to see it all in the same light. That's mastery. Not having to react and judge and change and all this, but just seeing that it's all okay. And then make a decision to move forward from that place of peace. Because if we're making any decisions in the present moment from fear or anger or attack or defense, that's going to be the result of that decision. So the zone, we hear about that zone a lot, okay? Little golf ball bouncing down. Being in the present moment. The zone is when we're really right there, okay? They always say, oh, that person's in the zone. It could be in business, golf, whatever. Oh, they're right on today. So they're present. They're also releasing the monkey mind, all that mind chatter that is continually, going on. You're not good enough, and what about that, and worrying about the future, and being angry at the past, and all of this. Releasing that monkey mind is so important. And all of your learning brought to the present, where all champions live. I like to equate this where the Course in Miracles says all your past except its beauty is gone, and all that remains is a blessing. So rather than carrying the baggage of the past into the present moment, bring your gifts. Let everything else go, forgive it, know that it's served us well, and move on from that place. So it's where, because eventually, when, as a golf analogy, and we can use this in any instance, but you take a lot of lessons in golf, okay? Yeah, I did. I think anyone who's a good golfer has had a lot of training in lots of areas. you practice like crazy. I mean, you work hard to develop those skills and talents. But when you're out there on the course, you gotta let all that go and let it come from within. So it's kind of like we don't have to sit here and paralysis by analysis with life. It's really take it all and surrender and let it go and be led by that. So pre-shot routine, it's a pre-shot routine for life. Prepare. Breathe deep, okay? Not this shallow up here breath, but the deep belly breaths. Get in your gait, breathe. Visualize, focus on that which you choose to create. And then trust, let it go. I would say that just means letting go at that point. So these are tools that can help you through every moment of your life, every moment of your day. And I love this, so this is something I didn't want to jump into, but I'm just gonna, who says being fit and playing golf don't go together? Well, Tiger obviously shifted that paradigm greatly. Yoga golf has become a huge thing. Healthy snacks, keeping our blood sugar maintained. I know that that's a tool for life, you know. I'd like to take the Gatorade out of that picture, but it just happened to be there. So, but anyway, water's good. Good water is really good. So, you know, put what we put into our body and make sure we keep that level, that balance, you know, even with our nutrition. Now, this is the closer, and it's, I found the cartoon for it, and it's a little joke. And it is, there's a foursome of guys that played golf every Saturday, and a funeral procession drives by, and the fella got down on his knee and was looking at his next shot when he realized that was going by. So he gets up and you know, puts his hand over his heart, and his friend said, "Jim, man, that was really nice." He said, "Wow, we didn't know you were that kind of guy. That really touched us that you did that." He goes, "Well, it's the least I could do. I was married to her for 30 years." So,